History has been made. I've got two words for you. Mia Davis. It was a record-breaking Wednesday night for the grad student.
Plus, we're on the road. We'll tell you all about the men's basketball trip to Greenville to take on ECU. Court's in session.
And your Temple!
Hello and welcome back to Courts in Session. I'm Sage Hurly, but it's not about me. After Wednesday's game, it's all about Temple's all-time leading scorer. Yes, Mia Davis is finally at the very top of the record books. I'll have more on her historic feat. Then, my intrepid co-host will take you on a trip down south to East Carolina University. Stay tuned. But we start with that record-setting night. Wichita State was in town to witness history with all of us, but Mia Davis scored a fast 10 points in the first quarter to propel her past Marilyn Stevens' total of 1,294 career points, a record that had been untouched for almost 40 years. Mia's special day was supported by outstanding performances from the rest of her team, namely freshman Karanda Perea, who scored a career high of 15 points. After the game, it was a time to celebrate the Owls defeat the Shockers 70-49 on Mia's record-breaking night.
When they were playing zone, we needed to be a little more aggressive because we knew they were trying not to let Mia touch the basketball. They were going to face guard her, just make it difficult. So we put Karanda in the game to make sure that they would have to guard her. And she came into the game and knocked down some open jump shots, and that really opened up things for us. She's so deserving. She's one of the most unselfish kids. She could have easily not come back for her fifth year or, like others, go someplace else.
Of course, it was like a great feeling having the Owl fans in the stands and my family. So it meant everything for them to see me complete or accomplish this big.
And take a look right here. This is the record-breaking shot. And as you might know, Mia was the very first athlete I ever interviewed at Temple. So watching her achieve this milestone was really something else. The game conveniently fell on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. And that being said, I want to give a quick shout out to all my fellow women in sports, on the court, in front of the camera, and behind the camera, and everywhere in between, including my fearless producer in the control room right now, Sarah Casella. Now, back to the game and back to McGonigal Hall with Owl Sports Updates and Nick Neistat.
Thanks, Sage. It was a historic night as Mia Davis passed Marilyn Stevens to break the record that had been in place for 38 years. Davis received the ball from her roommate, Jaisha Clinton, putting up 2 points off the glass, breaking the previous record of 2,194 points with just under 3 minutes in the first quarter.
Of course, it's a great feeling. Like I said before, I just want to thank my teammates and coaches for putting me in a position.
With only 8 games left in the regular season, Mia has already earned herself a spot in Temple's Hall of Fame. If you include the men's and women's teams, Mia sits only behind one person in all-time scoring. Current assistant head coach for the men's team and former Denver Nugget, Mark Macon. Reporting from McGonigal Hall, I'm Nick Neistat. Back to you in the studio, Sage.
There's two things I've learned while covering Mia. She's consistent and she's humble. As for the record, her point total will only go up after this win, and I don't see it being broken anytime soon. But as for Mia, what's next? Last time I talked to her, she said she wants to go pro. The women weren't the only ones who picked up a big win at home on Wednesday. The men's team was in North Carolina trying to shake off the weekend loss to SMU. Our own Ray Dunn made the trip to ECU and recaps the men's big night and Damian Dunn's homecoming.
Thanks, Sage. Yes, it was a big win for the Owls in Greenville. They take down ECU 71-63 behind a tenacious defensive effort that held the Pirates to just 32% from the field.
Owls and Pirates from Greenville, North Carolina. The Kinston, North Carolina native Damian Dunn finding Zach Hicks right there. 9 points for Hicks in this game. Tremont Robinson White was a problem all night for ECU. On the other end, Erasmus Park slamming it home. Temple jumped out to a lead early and never trailed. Right here, look at the freshman, Hyseer Miller, finding his man Damian Dunn. Dunn finishing with 26 points, a game high. On the other end, the high for ECU was Tristan Newton. He poured in 20. Dunn's miss right here, a prime opportunity for Nick Jourdain to slam it home. Aaron McKee talking postgame about how big it was for them to play that well on the boards. The free throw war at the end goes the Owls' way, 71-63.
Yeah, I thought we needed a better defensive effort from playing these guys the first time. And a lot of it was transition baskets that they got. A lot of it was backdoor cuts. And those are layups. Those are the highest percentage shot that you can take and make in this game of basketball. So we wanted to eliminate that. We wanted to have their offense play against our set half-court defense every time down the floor.
We take pride, a lot of pride in our defense. You know, we feel like we're the best defensive team in the country, to be honest. So, you know, we took pride in that, and we just wanted to give them no breathing space.
That's all the coverage we have from Greenville, but stick around, stay tuned. We have a feature story coming for you next week about the Owls' own Damian Dunn and his journey from Kinston to Temple. Now, taking a look back at Saturday at that SMU game.
A Saturday afternoon matchup in Dallas saw the Owls' 4-game winning streak come to a halt as the Mustangs sped past the Owls 69-61. An experienced team from top to bottom really outclassed the Owls throughout. Temple kept it close. Damian Dunn led the way with 16 points on 6 of 17 shooting. Owls shooting 34.8% in that game. Mustangs shooting a crisp 48% en route to the win.
Thanks, Ray. He might be about 400 miles away, but he always has a story. And as Ray mentioned, tune in to Owl Sports Update next Thursday at noon on TUTV to get a glimpse into Damian Dunn's life before his time on Broad Street, when he was back home in North Carolina. I started with the women's team, and I will end with it. The win on Wednesday was a really big one, as the Owls have been struggling lately. They now sit at 4th in the conference after going 1 for 3 since we last saw you. Yes, the now memorable Mia Davis win was on Wednesday, but before that, the Owls picked up 2 road losses on Saturday against Memphis and Monday against UCF. I could do this all day, every day, but it's just about that time. Ray and I will be back here next week, but until then, check out our sports brief on Monday, Owl Access Pass with Lindsay Moppert on Tuesday, and our brand new podcast dropped this past Wednesday, and then our flagship show with Luke Milai and Josh Safran on Thursday. That's a mouthful, but mark your calendars. That's 5 whole days of Owl Sports Update coverage. Thanks for tuning in. From TV3, I'm Sage Hurly. And remember, when Ray's on the road, buckle up and keep your head on a swivel.